The Uinta Highline Trail is a 100-mile alpine trail located in Utah. It remains above 10,000 feet for much of its length, without the crowds or permit quotas of California's Sierra Nevada. I had been wanting to hike it for a couple of years now, but somehow something always seemed to come up, whether it was work, wildfires, or COVID lockdowns. After a very dry winter in early July of 2021, I finally set out to hike it. My trail name is Minor. This is my story. Here at the beginning of the Uinta Highline Trail. You see the sign behind me. It's about 6 o'clock. We have about 2 hours and 45 minutes of sunlight because it doesn't get dark till almost 9 to make 4 miles to the I think it's the East Park Reservoir. Well, just starting. The trail starts off by following an ATV trail going through a couple of meadows before starting a series of short climbs that can be very steep at times. Starting to feel like I'm on the AT. Been climbing like this for a little while. We're finally leaving that ATV trail. Question is, for how long? Feel like we're actually backpacking now. Things one does to keep their feet dry. My socks will not dry out this late in the evening. I actually like alpine meadows. Sometimes I go to the Sierra Nevada, I get tired of just climbing the mountains and passes. And I deliberately pick a route that just spends time going through several big meadows instead.
Oh my God, it's correctly labeled. And it actually says Highline Trail. Cool. All right.
We arrived at East Park Reservoir and it's surrounded by a meadow, which we figure is going to be damp, given the ground's already damp. It's probably going to raise up a dew and cover us overnight. So I was looking for a place under some trees. I'm going to camp right underneath these two trees. Should keep me drier. Ground looks pretty soft. Just need to pick up some of the pine cones and some of the branches. I actually had a very nice campsite, very comfortable, slept very well. Of course, I was really tired too, and woke up in the morning though with, despite being under some trees, still had some moisture on top of my quilt and bivy sack. Trail's been really hard to follow the last 5 to 8 minutes. Have to really look for clues like saw logs, occasional trail marker. Okay, this is not the trail. These blowdowns are causing issues. Yeah, that's it there, I'm guessing. I may be pulling out my GPS here. Just figure out if I'm off track. Yep, I'm off track. I think the trail actually used to go through there. The problem is, as you can see, it's got crap in it. So everybody's gonna get off trail. And there's not enough foot traffic to pound another one in, apparently. Here we go. This would help if it was actually up where people could see it. Yeah, we're back on good trail again. Yeah, that was a confusing 10-15 minutes back there. You can see the mountains down there. Kept thinking we were getting close to Manila Park, but trail must zigzag more than the zoom level on my Gaia app. A lot of hikers skip over the first 24 miles, saying that it's not scenic and it lacks any water. I found neither of these to be true. The scenery is only lacking when comparing it with the rest of the trail. Compared to hiking at most locations, it compares very well, and I enjoyed it and I would hike it again without a second thought. As for water, there is water 4.5 miles in at East Park Reservoir, where I camped the first night. Also, there is a reliable stream 8 miles further in at Manila Park that has been reported with good flow even in the late summer. It's not well known as it requires going south 1/3 of a mile off trail following the eastern edge of the meadow. If the area has been experiencing a severe drought like this year, I might be concerned about the later part of summer, but given that I'm here in early season, there is no such concern. Over the years, I've seen several people hiking long trails while wearing a kilt. Becoming curious, I purchased one a few years ago, but never seemed to actually use it. This past Memorial weekend, while doing a section hike of the Pacific Crest Trail, I met and talked with 2 hikers through hiking the trail in kilts. Emboldened by this experience, combined with a dare from an acquaintance, I resolved to try to hike the entire Highline Trail while wearing one. That said, it is now lunch on the second day, and I had kept finding excuses not to wear it. But then, circumstances intervened. Yep, that's what I did to myself. Tripped over this log, and came down right on that.
Great story. It's a travel trophy. You'll have a scar between your legs and you'll be able to show people. Yep.
And you can see what it did to my pants. But fortunately, I had a kilt that I wanted to try out. Well, I have no choice now. Well, we just left the water. We're trying to find our way back, but we don't want to backtrack. So we're trying to figure out where the trail goes on the other side of the meadow and shortcut to it. Not liking that sky though. There is Fire Gorge. Not sure what that lake is. It's like it's raining over there. It's great scenery. It's the first real chance I've had to get up on top and get a good view like this from the distance. The other mountains we've gone by look forested on the peak, and it wasn't worth scrambling up to it. thunderstorm. It's been drizzling a little bit on me off and on. So I put my pack cover on and it stopped, as it tends to do. I mentioned that a lot of hikers skip this first section of trail. Though I had left the trailhead with another hiker, I would last see him in the early afternoon. I wouldn't see another until I was at Leidy Peak a day later. Advantage of hiking by yourself though is it truly is hike your own hike. I can set the pace I want to do. If I want to slow down, I want to stop and take photos or videos or something. Don't feel any pressure because I'm hiking with somebody else. Don't have to do the miles that I set beforehand, or I have the choice of going farther if I feel like it, without having to take somebody else's physical condition into consideration. A lot of advantages to hiking alone. Fortunately, not quite used to it. Most of my backpacking trips are usually solo. This looks like a clear cut. It's likely an old roadbed. I got misplaced and kept following a clear, obvious track that way when the trail started to veer to the right. So I cut back on a road that I saw paralleling it. And apparently this is the trail. Well, I am pooped. All the food weight is really dragging me down. My legs are fatigued. Got a nice break in the forest. Pretty forested area. If you can see, there's still some snow on the north slope there. You can see some right there. It's a nice exposed hillside. Glad that it's not in the middle of the day. It's the evening and it's actually very pleasant right now. It's a nice cool breeze. It's my favorite time of the day to hike. Well, one is too. I like hiking in the early morning too. Shadows are long as the sun's going down, and I like the trail through here. It's not as rocky as it was earlier, and it's got a nice green carpet. So I'll have about an hour to find a campsite and get set up. Going to cowboy camp again. The threatening clouds from earlier have moved on. It's close to the trail and too early to stop, but that's a nice spot to camp. The limbo. No, I'm gonna go around. Well, I got started this morning at 5:58. Basically, I picked a poor campsite. I was trying to find a camped on a roadbed, but it had trees down across it, so I knew new vehicles are using it. And basically picked a spot that looked like it might be softer, didn't have as many rocks. had moss there, which is why I thought it'd be softer, but that just says that it was wet until recently, which explains why after I got there I had the most mosquitoes in a single spot that I've seen on this trail. So that trail up to that point, as I was coming down, I was in a big rocky area, a lot of rocks and stuff. I didn't think if I kept going down past the road it was going to be a bit more of the same. But looking at it, I could have found a campsite down here pretty easy, because I'm only a few minutes down the trail. It's a nice cool morning. It was only 45 degrees when I got up. It's 39 yesterday. So, not too cold. Great. It looks like it's wet the entire well, that's where I'm entering. I'm not sure where I'm exiting. At this point, I don't really care. I'm just trying to figure out how to get through the water. Like I said, this is just not what I wanted to see this morning. I want to start the day off with wet shoes and socks. So I'm going to go trolling toward the end over there. There's my exit. I finally see it. Keep thinking I'm getting off track somewhere, but then I see a cairn like that, and I know that I'm still on trail. Just taking a break to have breakfast. Breakfast of champions. Brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart. And then a green superfood powder drink, so I get some nutrition. Just came up to Major Road. Seeing my trail follows it, maybe. This is pretty. Wide open meadows with flowers, wide open scenery. It's Leidy Peak. Gonna be around it for at least an hour more. I think I'm gonna climb over there. It's a short climb. Definitely worth doing. Mount Leidy right behind me. It's beautiful out here though. I'm so glad I'm out here. I had thought it was going to be an epic trip, and it's not disappointing. Water definitely does not seem to be a concern today. That is just beautiful. I was thinking of taking lunch here. It was raining a little bit when I had lunch, not very hard. Fortunately, most of what's dumping is on the other side over there. And I'm climbing up to an exposed section on the backside of Leidy Peak. Well, heard occasional thunder from over there. Didn't really notice the lightning, but I wasn't really looking either. It's beautiful. Fortunately, it's pretty calm thunder-wise. It's hearing a few from over there, but nothing from over here. And I haven't seen any flashes. Well, starting to hear thunder to my right on Leidy Peak. So it shifted. There is really nowhere to go. The only point of concern is getting up there. Because that's on top of the ridge. I am really surprised this trail isn't better known than it is. Did not like that one. Well, I'm thinking it's time to put some of the rain gear on. Saw lightning over there. And just heard it thunder to my right once. Oh, second time right there in the last 3 minutes. Well, I don't see how one's going to move fast across this unless it gets less rocky. I saw this cairn off to the side and I realized I'm actually ready to start going down. I need to get off that ridge. That's where I came down from. You can see the clouds up there. Got some snow there, not a lot. If you can see it, there's a cairn in the distance near the edge over there. They build them pretty large, and I'm glad, because otherwise they'd be harder to find in these rock fields if they were small. And to think that you don't even need a permit to hike this. The John Muir Trail, you're having to put a request in months ahead of time. Gabbro Pass is that saddle. There's two paths up to it, a steep one on the left and a more gentle one on the right. I am starting to second guess myself. Thinking I should have taken the trail on the other side to where it hits the snowbank and then scrambled around the edge of the snowbank. That does not look fun. That looks so much easier. Yeah, I decided to second guess myself. That was a steep hillside. The steps have mostly melted out. I would have to kick basically an entire foothold in myself, other than the first inch or two. That's where I'm going. It's beautiful up here. Taking a break here. Could have gone down to the lake below, but I thought it'd be nicer if I took a break up here. Well, that's where I'm going up. Trail goes up through there. Well, I made it to the top. Well, almost to the top. 2 more miles to Whiterocks Lake, which is where I was planning on camping. I only got out of the rocks. A lot of the path down was basically a stream bed with a lot of rocks in it. Well, that's White Rock Lake. I'm kind of questioning why it's called White Rock, because it looks more brownish. Here at White Rock Lake, I'm camped up in the trees above the lake.